I've been doing, a lot of work, clearly, but I need to get more done. I also need to go out to the end so we can go get Lilac and Deadd0g, our new member, their own elytras. We all hopped on call together, and I agreed that I'd fly out to try and find an end city for them. Oh no, I've already gone to this one. Or someone has, at least. Wait, this is the first one I ever found! This is where I got my elytra. We may need to do some bridging. I found one, and it's the tiniest excuse of a city.
Maybe we need to do some off-screen mining for this.
For sure. Now, speaking of off-screen, I got a beacon.
Oh.
And it's been doing a wonderful job of helping me terraform that mess over there. You see, I want to terraform this whole place today. So while I look for the city, we're gonna be doing a little bit of that. Right now, I want, not necessarily to smooth this out, kind of to smooth it out, but to make this much more cliff-like, because right now, it's just a mess. The Endermen have been mucking up my lawn. It's not wonderful at all. So first, I want to try and get everything closer. I want everything to be pulled up to about level 75, which is around that area. I certainly went a little overboard and did a lot more than I intended to. I am loving how this is looking now, but I want to show off a few key points of what I've done, because I don't think it will quite show well in the time-lapse. I never got rid of this. This is part of the original base over there. It was going to be my original storage area, and it holds a bunch of cows, and it was completely exposed on this side. But now it's completely encased, and there's a very good reason for this, and for these weird stones I got going on here. I'm not getting rid of this build. It's gonna mostly stay intact. There are some things I'm gonna change, but this front area is mostly gonna stay intact. I'm gonna make it more abandoned, fill it with lush, and most importantly, water, which has influenced the design for everything else here. This original ravine, this has been here since I found the place, is gonna be filled with water. This also solves the problems of the stupid Endermen that love mucking up this ridiculous area. Yeah, I'm filling that entire thing with water. I want all of them gone. I am so tired of Endermen, you have no idea. They are everywhere, they muck up my lawn. I don't care how old I sound. Get off my lawn! I'm tired of cleaning up after the Endermen. They throw their junk everywhere. Look at all the sand and dirt just thrown around here. Also, there's a chicken. I don't know when you spawned in, sir. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. This entire thing I'm gonna fill with water. I want to keep if possible, I want to keep the chairs down there, just because I think it'd be funny. There's a few different water spots going on, like over here. The main island is a little different. We're gonna have one big, kind of big. We're gonna have a stream coming from the main pool. Down this way, it's gonna separate into two, with one waterfall over here, and then the other one's going to continue down, little mini waterfalls going around, and it's going to separate in two again, to continue down all the way over to the dock, and the other is going to continue down this way, all the way over to this side. But that's the next thing we gotta do. And then I'm also gonna add details of little rocks around. I could actually probably use those for stepping stones as well, not just for extra details on the side, but to help out in these larger cliff areas where it's just too much to actually, walk up. Gradients take up a lot of time, all of my sanity, and even more resources, but it's done. Mostly done, anyway. But I got distracted for a little while, and actually finally opened this up. I'm not sure what I want to do for the arches in the inside of this, but I did get the outside arches figured out. And I did manage to keep the chairs. And it's surprising to me that this actually works. You can just barely reach. It's ridiculous. Excuse me, sir. What do you think you're doing? This is the exact problem. This is the exact problem that I've been having this entire time. And I hate them so much. Get out of here. Get off my lawn. Get away from this. Get out of here. I hate with all of my heart. I say this sincerely, all of my heart. I also, did some stained glass work for the first time, and I think that turned out pretty alright. I might add it to the other ones, because it just... Yeah, between the two of those, that looks way better. I need to add it to more. But that does look absolutely gorgeous, and I am loving it. Although it took a lot of resources, so it's gonna be a bit before I can do that. This whole thing has been just a time sink and resource sink. You have no idea how many times I had to run around for more resources, for more mud, for more dirt, more cobble, for this and that. It was a lot. But it took so long that we found the end city. I figured out how to use the F3 pie chart, and I used that to look for shulkers and, therefore, in-game, without cheats, technically, find the end city. Then I helped Deadd0g and Lilac over. Beam me up, Scotty! I hate these stairs so much. Oh, fun. The shooting range.
What do you mean? They're so practical.
Oh, so practical.
You want to get this one on the boat? The two peeking on the back of the boat. Nope.
Ooh, I can make that. Totally. Definitely.
Yeah, I get you.
Not at all.
A little more. Nope.
Someone needs to make a flying combat minigame. I would love that. Just bow spam people.
That would be... Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Like, we have
Hello.
people... Flying is such an important part of the game, to a point where people, like, prevent... SMPs prevent people from going to the end. But we have... The only flying minigames are just... flying. There's nothing else.
There you go.
Peekaboo! There you go. We found Lilac's wings pretty quick, and Deadd0g ended up finding his own end city soon after. But I think that's it, unless y'all want to get back up. We can do that another time. Don't mind doing a few more? Sure.
Wow, what an amazing sword, you know? I sure do love Bane of Arthropods.
I remember being a kid thinking that was such a cool enchant. Like, oh, that's so cool, and put on my axe.
And then, you know, the more you play it, you realize it was like the worst damage enchantment in the game.
I didn't realize that back then, because my specific memory of this. I did not start playing on the PC. I might be lost. Oh no, that's not good. So I have a very specific memory of one of the early tutorial worlds. I think I'm looking at a tutorial. I need to know which one this is.
Yeah, I started playing on the Xbox 360, the very first console update.
Nice.
But I just wish my Xbox 360 never got the red ring of death.
Oh no.
Yeah.
My PS3 is still kicking, surprisingly. Tutorial World 19?
Which one is that?
1.7.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That was my favorite, although I started with 12, which was 2013, which probably means somewhere between... hi, Lilac. Somewhere between 1.4 and 1.6, meaning withers, anvils, and command blocks, redstone, and horses. Okay, this is hilarious with the player animations, because Lilac, when you're floating, when you're perpetually floating, it's just waving its arms in the air. It's hilarious.
I still need to build my base. I have not done that yet. I'm still deciding what I want to go for.
My problem is I take too long with a base, and then by the time I get back to it, I've completely changed what I want to do.
Yeah, that's... Like, you get all the materials for it, you're getting ready to build it, and you're like, well, I could build this.
Yeah. Kind of like that. I dealt with that a lot, and so to get around that as a bit of a safeguard, I just started not quite building it, but planning out the structure, because I absolutely prefer function over form in my builds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like redesigned the stone frame of the tower at my base several times now. Honestly, after this recording, for the next couple days, that's all I'm gonna be doing. Because I finally have an idea of what I'm gonna do. And I did change what I want to do, but I do have a plan this time. I actually drew something out that I really like, and we're gonna plot out what I want. When it comes to my base, I like a little more function over form. I will always prefer it, but it doesn't mean I can't have some fun with that function. For example, the first room we're gonna be getting to here is a big old meeting room. Get out of my way. Because of this placement, it does mean I'm going to have a small little room here, but we're going to use that for another stairwell later. And I have thankfully already plotted out the dimensions that I want, and because of the placement of this, the meeting room is stepped down, but most everything at this level, I'm going to have to get rid of this. Built it so recently, and it's already going to be going away. I even fixed that up for the rest of the terraforming. But the big old meeting room, I'm gonna have tile floor, something close to the style of a foyer, foyer, whatever. Big old window here, little window there, I think. Actually, I don't have that in my plans, hold on. I do have in my plans a decent sized mud room. 5 right here, and 5 on the other side. And I will be dealing with the issues of this placement. Because I do want a little porch right here that's gonna go wrap around this side. I should probably make this smaller, but I do kind of like what size this is. Make it just a little bit smaller, because this is a little too much for what I want. I like the length of it, but having it the same size as the meeting room is not what I want. I need room to curve this porch. And because of this placement, it is very well going to go over the side of this. We are going to build out quite a bit this way, so I'm going to add a little cliff down there, but we can get to that in a moment. Off of this, I need to add a nice little barn. And some of these I haven't quite decided exactly what I want to do for them. So I'm going to have to base some of these off of other ones. For example, I want a kitchen with a little breakfast space, an office, and a small meeting room, all in this area. But that fully depends on how big my storage is going to be, and what space I have for it. Because I know the exact dimensions of what I want for my storage, it's just a matter of how is it fitting in with everything else. This is actually the size I want for the first part of my storage. We're going to make up 4 different rooms. 1 up here, that's going to be the main entrance. 1 down below that'll have probably plants. Another major room, and a furnace room towards the back that'll connect back up to the tower. And that should be all the storage I need for now, at least. It's good enough to get me going if I need to. This is a building method that I can add on to basically at any point. That does mean I can move on to the other rooms I want here. And this actually gives me a fair amount of space to work with. I can have a pretty good looking kitchen if I want. The meeting room is going to be split in half. And I think I want the meeting room a little more square, and the kitchen's going to be a lot more longer of a room. I want a 1-block center, so I think I'll do another 7x7, which gives me a fair amount of room to work with. Although I might just make this slightly off, so this room can still feel pretty square, but I do have a wall that I can work with for bookshelves, cabinetry, etc. And I don't need a lot. There's going to be a little office here. I don't need a lot of room to work with for this. Honestly, 3-block wide is just fine by me. It's just a small space connected to it. And I want this wall to be the same for the kitchen, and that leaves a fair amount of space for the kitchenette, so let's go 2 over, 3 over on each side. Which also gives me a 7. Do I want that? The problem is, I like doors like this. I don't like putting it too close to any wall, because it feels just a little claustrophobic and small. That's not really what I want. But I feel like a 7 is just too much. So we're gonna go for 5, and hopefully that'll be just fine. I'm hoping I can find a way to make it work. The windows shouldn't make it feel as small, hopefully. I'm also gonna make it slightly... There we go, that's the kind of shape I want for that. And I think that's already... I think that's already the layout I want of the first floor. I have little details planned out, but that's pretty much everything. The only other thing that I haven't got jotted down that I have drawn out is I want there to be a little courtyard space here, and let's just say right here. I'm gonna build up a giant cliff for the rest of the building to rest on. And I do expect that the building will go over the cliff a little bit here and there. I absolutely do not expect this to be perfect by any means. But that gives me a pretty decent start to work with. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this dirt and just start with what little I got, start some sort of outline. I think I want this to be a lot bigger than just simply that. A little bit rounder and wider, but that gets a general gist of it. Because this has not come out quite like I have it drawn, which is to be expected because I just arbitrarily drew it and then added dimensions after. But I think this is pretty damn good for everything I want. I can have a decent island here and walking space. I just want a little corner desk right here, and then maybe a bookshelf plant here. Double doors here. Circular meeting table with a couple chairs on that end and a chair right here. So I have the bookshelves framed behind me. And then this is probably going to be the main spot that I meet up with people. We can talk about things. I want a little map of the island here. So that's going to be something we'll do. I think I can fit it in a couple item frames. And also, we're moving Tall's room. Tall's room is no longer... Tall's room is right there. Huddlefoggen is going to be moved. I'm not quite sure where. I want to see if I can put him on top of some of these other buildings, but I do have plans for his room officially now. However, my allays, my boys, these precious little babies that I love so dearly, they're so cute, are going to have a very different set of rooms downstairs. The allays are a little different because I want a big cave-like space. Something about the shape of a geode right in the side of this here, and then all the rooms are gonna be stretched out across this area. I might push that staircase around and curve that around. I feel like that's a little too close to the cliff for me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to mess with this staircase. But in general, that's what's going on here. I'm gonna have to mess with this a lot. This is not happening this episode. But the rooms are definitely next. I just need to actually get this plotted. No. I'm gonna have to... I want to get everything plotted out first, so I don't want to move things later. Because if I don't even like how it's plotted out, I'm gonna want to rebuild it again later. And the more I can avoid rebuilding things, the better. Because I'm already moved that a million times in the 2 weeks that it's existed. All in all, I think, while it wasn't a lot of work, well, the terraforming was time intensive, and that was 4 days of non-stop work. About, like, 8-10 hour days. Mainly because I was getting distracted and it takes surprisingly long to place all those blocks. Actually, how many stone have I placed? 89,127. Take that with a grain of salt because I've also been using stone. Build up that and also build up spawn. But all in all, I think this is a pretty good place to get started. I can actually start planning out what I want to do. And actually start working on my base, and most of all the storage. That's the main reason I'm focused on this. I would be building spawn. I am tired of my storage. I need new storage. This is not tall enough for what I want. Why is there a googly moogly gang of thieves after me? Stars. It's not a lot of work, but it's a get out of my face. But it's that little bit of progress that I needed to get done, and I was tired of leaving this. Although, how? No! Why? Yeah, I think that's my cue to log off. Everyone have a good one. Bye-bye.